What is going on, guys? It is your boy Bio2k, and today, man, I'm going to be bringing you guys a video talking about the best team you guys can use here for the 250k tournament. Now, in this video, I'm not only going to be showing you guys, like, obviously the best team you could make, but I'm also going to be showing you guys the best, like, budget team you guys can make. So if you guys don't have a lot of MT, I'm going to try to keep the total, like, super low as far as, like, MT. I mean, obviously, it'll probably be, like, you know, around 100k you can make this team for, because there is some really good cards that I feel like you just kind of need to have on this team. If you guys even have some more suggestions as well, feel free to comment them down below. But before we get into this video as well, I do want to say I am going to be streaming my qualifier run, obviously live on Facebook. The link is in the description down below, so be sure to go check that out. Now, getting into this team here, the number one thing you guys are going to need is really good quality point guards, right? And with the 250k tournament, you obviously need to run, I think, 3 guards and everything like that. The reason why is because I feel like running 3 guards, like, you're going to just need players for different situations, and that is going to be the number one thing, right? So I think as far as point guards go, the 3 best options you have in this game are John Wall, Steph Curry, and Gary Payton. I think an honorary 4th one is definitely Penny Hardaway. Penny's a really good player. He can't get clams, unfortunately. His jump shot's a little weird. It's definitely greenable, though. And obviously, he's tall enough to, you know, paint mash and everything like that. So he's definitely a solid option you guys want to look into. John Morant is really good. You guys will hear me talking about him in a minute. Walt Frazier is a really good option that I think is really underrated, that I think a lot of people don't really pay attention too much to. His offense is really not that great, but he does have Hall of Fame floor general, and he is really good at, you know, clamping up a lot of different point guards and stuff. So I would definitely, you know, keep him as an option as well. But yeah, I do believe these are by far the best point guards that you guys can go ahead and use in this tournament. Now, as far as shooting guards go, me personally, you know, I think the starting shooting guard, I think 100% has to be Clay. I think Clay, truthfully, is the best option in this situation. I really do. Clay is just, I don't even know. He's insanely good for being a diamond card. Again, why I tell you guys not to pay attention to gem colors, because being a diamond, he really plays like a dark matter already, which is insane to even think about. Off the bench, I do have Jaylen Brown, but I do want to say that probably the best backup option is Diamond Harden. I don't have Diamond Harden, and I'm not going to pick him up, obviously, just for this video. But I will say that Diamond Harden is probably the best option that you can run either off the bench or in your starting 5, either way, regardless of how you play. You can interchange these players out wherever you really want. I'm just saying that, you know, Clay is really, in my opinion, the best option to start. So for your wings of your 3 and your 4, me personally, I think, you know, this position is just absolutely loaded, and you know, you got to pay attention to some things like this, right? You have guys like Paul George, you have guys like Giannis. These 2 guys are absolutely just cracked. And then off the bench, you guys are going to see, I'm going to be putting Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony, 2 really solid guys that I just think you have to have. Like, these 4 wings, I think, are the best wings in the game. Again, you know, for these backup spots, you know, this is a spot where I would, if you do have him, I would put a Gerald Wallace type player, because Gerald Wallace is arguably still one of the best perimeter defenders in this game. If he could play the 2, he would be on so many more people's teams, but unfortunately, you know, you can't obviously run him on the team, so, or you can't run him at the 2, so it's a little unfortunate there, but, you know, it is what it is. As far as centers go, me personally, I do think the 2 best centers you can run is D-Rob and KG. KG, I know, is an unpopular opinion, and I know a lot of people don't like KG, but in my opinion, he's one of the toughest centers in this game. I have his shot down really well. I've greened 40%, 50% contested shots with him. You just have to get used to the release, and other than that, he is an insanely good defensive center that blocks every shot, grabs every rebound, and is just definitely a player that you guys want to pay attention to. Now, you guys can see I don't really have anybody in this 3rd spot. This 3rd spot really is just anybody, you know, you want to throw in here. You know, you can have an Anthony Davis. You can have a Josh Smith. You could have, like a, what's it called? You can have a Mutombo. You can have a Wilt in that spot. You know, there's just a lot of different options. You could put Mike in there. There's just a lot of other options that you guys can run. But as far as the best team goes, I feel like that you can run for 250k. This is the team that you guys are going to be looking at a lot. You have just, like I said, the only replacement on this team I would personally make is put Harden here instead of Jaylen Brown, but I like Jaylen Brown, so I'm going to go ahead and use him. Obviously, you can use guys like Kobe. Donovan Mitchell is still a really solid option, so there's a lot of, obviously, different players you could put here. Jason Kidd is another player you can run in these teams, are on this team, but I truly think that this is just like by far the best team that you can run. So looking at, again, another team here of what you can run as far as a budget option. So we're going to go 250K, but we are going to put a space and we're going to put a B for budget. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to use players that are still really good. Now, when I say budget, I'm going to be talking about cards that are free that have really good value. So at the 1, I'm going to go ahead and put Tdpresents, and I'm going to go ahead and put Ja Morant. Now, I am going to go ahead and throw Gary Payton on this team. The reason why is Gary Payton is like obviously free to get. You do have to go through a lot of grinding with unlimited, but I do think Gary Payton is still a really solid option to have on this team. So I am going to go ahead and throw him out here. But actually, you know, I'm going to keep it like this, just to, again, to kind of keep it, you know, fresh with you guys. That Tdpresents is by far like, you know, the best. He's basically Kyrie with the dribble sigs and everything, but has a good jump shot, and not only that, doesn't get smacked out of bounds every single time he goes in for a layup. And then Ja Morant, if you have to badge him out a little bit, like, you know, with clams, I think you need to add that. You need to add, I believe, I can just look right now, but I do believe that there is another shooting badge that you're going to want to add to him, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? So badges you're going to want to put on him: pickpocket, pick dodger, clamps. Yeah. So like a lot of the defensive badges, chef, like that's what you're going to want to put on him. But if you badge him out, I think he could be one of the best point guards in the game. And especially because he is free, I think he's going to really help out a lot of different people and stuff like that. So again, as far as shooting guards go, there is a lot of, you know, good budget options that I feel like people kind of overlook. Like, I feel like, you know, you could still run guys like, where is he? Like, I feel like you could still run guys like ML Carr and stuff like that. In the starting 5, though, I'm going to go ahead and put Chris Mullin, and then I am going to go ahead and run ML Carr off the bench. I do think Chris Mullin, like, at this point, everybody should be on these boards and everything by now. So I feel like that's pretty safe to say that, you know, Chris Mullin is definitely doable to get. And then ML Carr, same thing again. He is just a really solid player that, again, was really accessible for a while. But there's a lot of rubies and stuff, too, that I do want to throw in this team. But the thing is with a budget squad, as far as, you know, trying to compete and everything like that, budget players are really good, you know, but, like, it's one of those things where it's just, like, obviously, you know, if you're not, you know, good enough to really compete with a lot of different people, you're going to be kind of struggling. So just some good players. You know, Nicholas Batum is a really good option. I'm just going through the players that I actually have. And that is what you guys are going to see here, though. So, again, you know, Nicholas Batum, really solid option that you guys can go ahead and run. Josh Smith, again, is going to be one of the best big men that you guys can run. There's definitely a lot of cards that I think are usable and are going to be really quality players for a lot of different people. I'm trying to find... I feel like I was just looking at who I was going to put here, and now my brain is, like, spacing out on it, and it's, like, kind of driving me nuts because, like I said, I feel like I just had it and now, like, I can't think about who I was just going to put there. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the team, you know, Ruby Marcus Smart. I actually, you know what, now that I think about it, I would actually probably run him over a guy like ML Carr. I know that sounds crazy. Maybe you can run ML Carr at the 3. There's just a lot of good budget guys in this game. You know, it's really hard because now that I think about it, like, originally I was going to make a good, you know, quality squad here. But it really is a little bit more difficult than I thought, mainly because, like, you know, when you do go into a 250K tournament, like, you're going to be going up against a lot of really good teams. And, you know, that's really where it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. So as long as you guys are taking advantage of a lot of these good budget cards in the game, maybe have a team looking something like this, I think, you know, you could still win a good amount of games. Honestly, I would actually run the team like this. I know it sounds crazy. Ruby Marcus Smart may be that guy you want to start, but this squad, again, could compete with a lot of really solid teams. I mean, as long as you're doing good and you're cycling them out. Again, Nicholas Batum is a really solid option as well. That is definitely a guy that you're going to want to go ahead and pay attention to. He's another good player that I think, you know, people are sleeping on. Eddie Jones is actually a really good one. So this is where I'm going to just kind of go through a lot of these different cards. Eddie Jones is super important to have. Make sure you guys get him. If you're, you know, rocking a budget team for qualifiers, make sure you pick up Eddie Jones. That is 100% a player you guys are going to want. DeJounte Murray's really good. Drazen and Stockton are really good. You see, there's a lot of budget cards that I forgot even existed in this game. You know, if you can pick up a Myteam, make sure you guys do that. I mean, Nate Thurman's kind of whatever. I'm not going to lie. I really wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to be too big on that one. Obviously, depending on how cheap Jason Kidd is, that could be another guy you guys want to look into. Jason Terry is going to be really solid. Karolinko, actually, you know, that's a guy that you could put really on the best team. Like, if you're looking at a team like this and you obviously don't have a guy like Melo, or maybe you don't have a guy like KD, AK is definitely a really solid option you guys want to look into picking up. that is definitely a player I recommend as well. Bam Out of Bio is another solid one that you can look into picking up. There's definitely a lot of budget options too, like I said. So hopefully this video did help you guys out, give you guys a good understanding of what team to use and stuff like that. I, again, am going to be playing in the qualifiers, and this is going to be the team that I'm going to be using. So hopefully it goes pretty well. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Be sure to kill that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And yeah, peace.